The quick tips I'm about to show you in Davinci Resolve's color page are guaranteed to save you time or your money back. You're watching this for free on YouTube, so your mileage may vary. But what if you have a DJI Pocket 3 like this and you've got an ND filter on it? Or another camera with an ND filter and it has a color cast? We're gonna fix that. If it's like the Nikon Z30 that I'm recording on, this is what the footage actually looks like straight out of the camera. But I'll show you how to build that too. What if you want to apply that same color style to multiple clips? I'll show you that as well. And I'll show you how to save it for future use. Stick around to the end, and I've got a bonus tip for you. Welcome back to Creator Reality, my friend. I'm John, and yeah, let's just get into Resolve and get started. Here we are on my timeline, and I've got a bunch of clips from my DJI Pocket 3 with the newer, I think it is, newer ND filter on it. And it's usable, it really is. But I noticed a green color cast on it, and I didn't care for that. So let's go fix it in the color page. I'm gonna click on my color icon here, which brings us into the color page. Over on the left, I've got my gallery. If you don't see it, click on gallery. And since we've got a bunch of clips here, we can click on clips to get rid of that, clean things up. Right here is our node tree. This is where all the magic happens. And then we have effects on the right-hand side. We'll just leave that open for now. We might need it later. Down on the bottom, we've got our color wheels and our color bars. So I've got the primaries, but you've got HDR. We're going to ignore that for today. We're going to focus in the primaries. And on the right-hand side, we've got scopes. Mine is set to vector scope, but you can look at the parade of red, green, and blue, waveform, and you've got histogram and the other stuff, but vector scope's the one I like. And I've got this line here. Well, if I click on the settings button here, you'll see that I've got show skin tone indicator turned on. If I turn that off, that line disappeared. And then I can turn it back on and we're good to go. If you want to get fancy, we can display the qualifier focus, where now I've got a plus icon next to an eyedropper, and if you watch my scopes, it's showing you what color is currently selected. So if I pick something white, like right about here, that should show right there in the center. Boom, we're good. Now let's start by looking at the node because it's blank. If anything has been changed for this color grade, it'll show little icons here next to the 01. And that tells you that something's been changed on that node. If you want to add a node before this one in line, because everything happens in line, you want Shift S. And you'll notice that I've got one before. Control Z to undo that. I had to do it twice because I moved it as well. It counts that as an edit. But we can press Alt S to create one after. We're going to need that later. Put that one up in the old cashew. Control Z to undo. We just need one node for this. Now for this footage, I noticed that the temp is a little bit too warm. So you can either drag this back and forth, or I can double click on it and type in -540, because I know what my settings are. Tab away, we've changed things ever so slightly. We've made them a little bit more blue, and you can see that our scope over here has changed. If I Control Z, you can see it moved ever so slightly. Control Shift Z to redo that edit. And then I noticed there's a bit too much green in this, so I want to drag it towards magenta, or again, I can double click and type in my preferred setting for that. And you'll notice that now our white balance is much better. So this center spot is the white, that's our white balance, and we are just about centered now, which is really cool. We made that in just 2 easy steps. Now, let's go show the clips again, because we want to apply this to the other clips from that same camera, right? So I'm just going to click on clips here, and with our clips open, we can apply this to multiple by clicking on one clip and then holding Shift to select a range and then clicking on the last one. So you notice it's selected the entire range here. Or I can click on one and hold Control and select individual clips. And then to apply that color grade, all we have to do is use our center mouse wheel and click on the source clip. So this one, you see it's got the rainbow outline there around the 92. That's the clip number in sequence for this timeline. But this indicates that it has a color grade applied. So these don't have any color grade applied, but when I click my center mouse wheel, boom, replace existing active grades. This happens if you're trying to apply it to 5 or 6 or more clips all at once. But if it's just onesie twosies, it won't pop up this message. But I do want to replace them, so I will click replace, and now you'll notice that they all have that same icon except for 95 because I didn't select that one. So if I click on 95 and I click on 94 with my center mouse wheel, boom, it applied it. We can click on a node and hold Control and press D to disable it. And this one is really clear. You can see just how green that screen was, that shot was. So Control D to reapply, and now it looks much better, at least to me. This is my preferred style. In your case, it may be different. Maybe you want to have a brown or a red or a green be the dominant color, have a little bit of a tint to it. You can build out your color grade however you see fit. But once you've created your color grade, how do you save it and use it in future projects? Because, you know, you've got your style, you want to keep using it, right? It's pretty easy. Let me show you. Remember the gallery we looked at earlier? It's right there on the left-hand side. You probably just have stills one, but I've got a whole bunch of these power grade bins, and I'll show you how to create one in just a second. But first, I want you to boop the like button if you're learning anything new. All we have to do is right-click, and instead of adding a still album, we want to add a power grade album. And it gives it a default name, but when you double-click on it, it lets you rename it. So I'm going to call mine Demo, and now we're in here, and there's no stills created. All we have to do is go up to the color menu, come down to stills, and grab still, or press Control-Alt-G. Now it's right in here. So we've got 1.96.1. I don't know where Davinci Resolve gets those numbers from, but if you click directly beneath it, we can name this whatever you want. I'm going to call mine Demo. And if I come over here and right-click and reset all grades and nodes, we go back to the default look. All we have to do in the future is go into this Demo Power Grade folder and drag this clip over our viewer, and voila, it applied it. Just like that. Easy peasy, right? Now we're back in my timeline. Here's a recent clip from a recent video. I've linked it up here if you want to go watch it and learn some more about Davinci Resolve. But this is the raw footage out of my Nikon. So I'm going to click on my color icon again. I'm going to get rid of my clips. We just have the one. You'll notice there's nothing there. Well, if I go to my Nikon Z30 folder and I drag in Porch 50% white, voila, there's the color and style that you're so used to seeing on creator reality videos. By the way, if this is your first time watching a video, drop me a comment below. Let me know you were here. As you can see, I've got a bunch of experimental things. Again, these are just Control-D to enable and disable. Voila. And I didn't like how that looked, but I like how this looks. So in this one, notice we've got the little icon there. That means I've changed the primary balance. When I hover over it, it tells me what I did. I did the temp a little bit and the tint a little bit. Job done. The next one's disabled, and then we add a vignette. That's the vignette right there. Now, if you had a new node here, like I do, in Effects, if you don't see it, click on Effects. We can click on the magnifying glass, type in Vignette, and then drag it on. And now there's another heavy vignette. So I customized it. I made it a little bit bigger, and so it's just kind of hiding the corners. It makes it look a little bit more stylish, in my opinion. But I will Control-Z to undo that. We don't need that one. But that's it. It's just a little bit of color and the vignette, and job done. Interesting thing about this one is that if you notice up here, I've got a DVE one, and the only difference is really that the center of my vignette, I moved it over, because for some reason the built-in DVE in effect in Davinci Resolve Studio doesn't like move the entire frame. It just moves it within the frame. So my vignetting was, I finally noticed it. It was looking wrong, so I fixed it, and I created another power grade, which kind of told me I need to do this video. And moving on to the bonus tip, I shot an entire video with my Canon R6 Mark II, and the lighting was changing constantly on me, and I didn't like that some of the clips were overexposed, some of them were a little bit under, so I fixed it. Let me show you how I did it. Clicking on my color page icon again, we're in here, we've got a blank node. I got to show my clips, and this clip right here looks fine. You can see the blue and the purple and the green, the saturation looks good, the color looks good, and in this one, it looks a little bit kind of washed out, and I'm not a huge fan. So to fix this, I select my destination clip, and then I can right-click on the source clip and come up here to shot match to this clip. Boop. And now you'll see this fun icon here. It looks like a Rubik's Cube, and it's modified the color to match the source clip. So if I click on my node, press Control-D to disable it, you can see that it made some slight tweaks, and the blue's got a little bit more saturated, the purple, pink there, the van looks better, the grass looks a little bit better. Go back and forth a little bit, you can see it's a little bit darker and a little bit more saturated. So it was just slightly overexposed on that one. But if we click on this clip and then back and forth, you can see that it made them match. How cool is that? And you can use the tips that I showed you earlier to add a node and make further tweaks should you need them. So there you have it, 3 time-saving tips in the color page of Davinci Resolve. Now you have time to drop me a comment below if you learned anything and hit that subscribe button. Do all the YouTuber stuff. Anyway, I hope you're having a great day. I do hope you learned a lot. I do hope you'll ask questions about Davinci Resolve in the comments section. I look forward to it as always. And I will ask you to go watch this video next. It's one of mine. You'll learn something there. I guarantee it. John out.